Hello and welcome to the Brasileirao magazine of round 32. Michael, the maestro of the Morumbi. Flamengo crushed São Paulo with a scintillating performance from their magician. 100% with the fans. Corinthians see off Cuiabá and look unstoppable with the supporters back at the Neoquímica Arena. Comeback Kings. Fluminense do it the hard way against Palmeiras in a thriller in the Maracanã. Fighting for the top. Inter beat Atlético Paranaense and stay in touch with the leading pack. A weekend of amazing goals and brilliant skills, all coming up in the Brasileirao magazine show. The opening match of round 32 was a battle to escape the relegation zone as Atlético, Goianiense and Santos went head-to-head searching for a win. The home side had coach Marcelo Cabo back in charge for the third time at the Dragons, while Santos had to make do without star player Mourinho, who caught flu. 16-year-old Angelo took his place. The match started 10 minutes late because of the heavy rain, and the staff were out in full to make sure the match went ahead. Despite their best efforts, it was tough going for the players and the ball. In the first half, both teams had at least one opportunity. André Luiz tried with his set piece, but João Paulo made the save. Danilo Bozo finished, but couldn't quite strike the ball with the quality he wanted. The rain stopped in the second half and the pitch became more playable. With 58 minutes gone, Atlético had their best chance after a poor clearance by Santos. André Luiz recovered the ball and shot, but Kaique was at the right place and time to save the attempt. Ronaldo had a go from outside the area and went inches wide of João Paulo. Danger for Santos. Game over and no goals. A disappointing result for the hosts, who haven't won in 3 and are sliding into trouble. América Mineiro clashed swords with Grêmio in the Arena Independencia in Belo Horizonte. The game featured the reunion with coach Wagner Mancini, who left the Rabbits for the tricolor in controversial circumstances. For the match, Marquinhos Santos managed to repeat the same formation from the last game and kept Zarate in attack alongside Ademir and Felipe Azevedo. Grêmio lost centre-back Kahneman during the warm-up, so Juan came in. Alisson played in midfield, with Diego Souza up front. The away side didn't have time to think when the game started. Ademir hit a clever long pass to Felipe Azevedo. The player controlled the ball well and beat Breno to open the score.
Felipe Azevedo giving the lead to América at Arena Independencia.
The assistant referee called an offside, but VAR confirmed the goal. Ademir got the ball inside the box and Cortez took him down. The number 10 then stepped up from the spot to double the score. His 11th goal of the season. The hosts kept up the pressure. And right after the break, Juninho scored another. After Ale exchanged passes with Zarate, the number 8 got the ball outside the area and struck home. A fantastic team goal from America.
Perfect touch, no chances for Breno.
The tricolor tried to respond and managed to get one back with Ferreira when the skillful young winger brushed off the defenders and finished with a low shot.
Gives Grêmio their first one on the night. Beautiful play.
But that was that in Belo Horizonte. America are safe from a drop and now hope to push on up the table. Darker days await Grêmio. Internacional were looking at the top 6 as they came up against Atlético Paranaense in the Beira-Rio. Without top scorer Yuri Alberto, Diego Aguirre gave 19-year-old Mateus Catarini a place in the starting lineup for the first time. Alberto Valentim had to make do without left-back Abner, who was suspended, but Leo Settagini was back in midfield. The away side had the first chance with 7 minutes on the clock. Terence progressed down the right, cut into the middle and finished from outside the area, but his shot went wide of Lomba's post. The Colorado took their time to get going. Palacios received the ball on the counter-attack and launched Patricky in behind the defenders. The midfielder was one-on-one with the keeper, but could only find the side netting. A golden chance missed by Patricky. While Inter squandered their opportunity, Atletico took theirs. After a long pass from Santos, Terence got the ball on the far right and made a beautiful move, leaving Moses and Bruno Mendes on the ground before finishing to open the score in the Berajillo. The 6th goal from the Uruguayan in the Brasileirao.
And the run is a positive one. Kaiser slots it home! Bounced off the challengers and buried the ball into the back of the net.
The hosts, though, were back on level terms just 3 minutes later. Moses exchanged passes with Patricky and he delivered the ball to Palacios inside the box. The Chilean picked out Eddie Nielsen and the attempted clearance by Nico Hernandez flew into the net. Things looked good for Atletico in the second half when Pedrinho combined with Pedro Rocha, who was then brought down by Sarabia. The referee pointed to the penalty spot, but VAR had spotted a narrow offside. On the 65th minute mark, Eddie Nielsen produced the defining moment. Johnny got the ball and gave it to Mauricio. The midfielder's shot was blocked but fell to Eddie Nielsen, who produced a bit of magic to beat Santos.
And a piece of magic from the Brazil man has put Internacional in front.
The 11th goal of the campaign from the Brazil man. Game over and an important win for Inter, who kept up the pressure on the top 6. Atletico have a midweek game but will be fully focused on the Sudamérica final. Red Bull Bragantino took on Fortaleza in a 6-pointer in Greater Sao Paulo. Leo Ortiz and Praxedes returned to the Massa Bruta after injury. Fortaleza had Iago Pikachu back in the starting lineup. It took only 3 minutes for the home side to open the score. Alinho received a long pass on the left and struck with a first-time shot. A brilliant goal to give Red Bull the lead. The second came 11 minutes later. Italo took advantage of another long ball to beat Marcelo Boecki with the slightest of touches. The Massa Bruta totally in charge early on. It was game over soon after the break. Alinho entered the box and was brought down after trying to lob Chichi. R2 converted with perfection to make it 3-0.
From the penalty kick, Marcelo Boecki didn't have any chances.
That's how it ended after total dominance from Red Bull Bragantino, who moved to 52 points, 3 above Fortaleza. Corinthians were hoping to bounce back after their crushing defeat away at Atlético Mineiro as they took on Cuiabá in the Neoquímica Arena. Silvino was under pressure once again as he put Renato Augusto back into his usual role in midfield and brought in Joe up front. Juninho brought in Rafael Gava in place of Max to try and reinforce the middle of the park. Corinthians got off to a flyer after a cross from Lucas Piton. Juliano headed home. Party time in Itaquera as the midfielder struck his 3rd for the club.
Perfect header by Juliano, no chances for Walter. As quick as that, Corinthians has a lead 1-0.
The Musketeers went in search of a second. Joe combined with Juliano, but Walter pulled off a decent stop as he did his best to justify Cuiabá's outlay. The away side then bounced back with a late equaliser. Pepe caught Cassie off guard to make it all even before the break. The 3rd long-range shot from the Dorado man this season. Renato Augusto came to life in the second half with a special performance. The number 8 pulled this one out of the hat when he pummeled the ball into the back of the net. Another cracker from the midfielder as Walter was well beaten. Minutes later, the Musketeers went in front with another superb hit. Renato Augusto linked up with Roger Guedes, and the number 1-2-3 fired home in true style as the stadium erupted.
It's the 3rd one of Corinthians on the night. The 6th goal of Roger Guedes in the Campeonato Brasileiro.
Cuiabá were determined to make a fight of it. They were back in the match when Rafael Gava knocked in a decent free kick and Paulo pounced to make it 3-2. 3-2 the final score as Corinthians got back to winning ways in front of 38,000 fans. Home support has certainly made the difference, and the Black and Whites have won 5 out of 5 since the supporters were allowed back in. Curiosidades still have more work to do to secure their Serie A status. São Paulo and Flamengo went head-to-head on what started out as a very pleasant sunny afternoon in the industrial heartland of Brazil. Over 47,000 fans turned up to watch the tricolor in their efforts to get away from the drop zone, while defending champions Flamengo still had an outside chance of retaining the title. Rogério Ceni chose to improvise as central defender Diego Costa at right back, while Gabriel earned a spot in the starting 11. Renato Portaluppi had David Luiz and Rodrigo Caio in the centre of his defence, with Everton Ribeiro, Michael, Bruno Henrique and Gabriel Barbosa in attack. Right from the kick-off, Flamengo showed no mercy, pounding the home side. With only 30 seconds on the clock, Andrés Pereira stole the ball from Lisiero and gave it to Bruno Henrique. The winger hit a good pass to Gabi, who beat Thiago Volpi with a confident finish.
And just like that, the Cariocas draw first blood.
The Rubro-Negros were 2 up just 3 minutes later. Michael glided past Diego Costa and sent it to Bruno Henrique, who put the ball into the back of the net. 2-0 to Flamengo away in the Morumbi with just 4 minutes on the clock.
Absolute nightmare of a beginning for São Paulo. A dream start for Flamengo.
The contest was effectively over as Flamengo inflicted more pain. Michael has had a brilliant season, and he was up to his tricks again with another fabulous goal as São Paulo collapsed in front of their own fans.
Michael controls it, cuts it in size and says, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make it from here, and he does exactly that. 3-0 Flamengo.
In a rare attempt on goal, the tricolor tried to reduce the damage of Victor Bueno, but Uga made the save. Next, the Michael show continued. Bruno Henrique made a move on the right and had a go. And the number 19 put the icing on the cake of a real demolition job. Goal number 13 made Michael the league's top scorer and a contender for player of the season.
Stellar, phenomenal, stunning, incredible.
São Paulo's last effort came from Luciano, but Ugo was determined to keep a clean sheet. Game over and a crushing defeat for the tricolor in the Morumbi. Flamengo were outstanding as they geared up for the Libertadores final. But it was a tough day for former Rubro-Negros coach Rogério Ceni after São Paulo were humiliated in their own backyard. Fluminense were going through a shaky moment in the season when they faced the Palmeiras side who just won their last 6 games in the Brasileirao. Marcão had to make do without regulars Nino, André and Luis Henrique. Abel Ferreira had the return of team captain Felipe Melo and went with Mikey at right back. The Greens had total control in the first half. With 15 minutes on the clock, Rafael Veiga received the ball outside the area and finished. Marcus Felipe saved, but failed to secure the ball, and Holly missed a great opportunity to put his side in front. Former Flu player Gustavo Scarpa had been getting a lot of stick, but his corner eventually dropped to Dudu, who produced a moment of magic in the Maracanã. A stunning finish in the temple of Brazilian football.
But what a bullet shot from Dudu to liven up this game in the Maracanã. What a wicked shot that was. And of course, Gustavo Scarpa had to have a hand, took it down well and just wellied that one into the top corner.
It could so easily have been 2-0 when Scarpa was allowed to move forward and then put his cutting effort just wide of the target. Marcão's talk with the players at half-time certainly worked, and Fluminense were fired up in the second period. Right after kick-off, Iago Felipe advanced through the middle and shot. A huge deflection off Luan sent the ball away from Weverton, and the hosts were back on level terms.
Great goal there. Let's take a look at the replay. Counted on a deflection and fooled Weverton.
I think it's the back of Luan.
With 61 minutes on the clock, Luca received the ball inside the area and was taken down by Victor Luiz. The referee awarded a penalty, but after a VAR revision, the officials somehow decided that Wellington had fouled Rafael Veiga at the beginning of the move. 4 minutes later, David Braz produced a top-class save from Weatherton with a set piece. The defender's shot looked assert, but the keeper managed to get across. Flu were on top and got their reward late in the game. The Tricolor picked their way through the Palmeiras backline, and Iago Felipe found the space to curl the ball into the back of the net. A late drama in the Maracanã, with Iago Felipe the unlikely hero.
2 golaços being scored in that goal. One by Dudu in the first half, and now Iago Felipe. What a shot, no chances for the best goalkeepers of the Americas, Weverton. Let's watch the whole play again. Beautiful goal by Fluminense in the second half, John.
Next, John Kennedy could have made it 3-1, but his effort smashed onto the crossbar. 3 priceless points for Fluminense, and the Green's 6-game winning streak was at an end. Time for the Northeast Derby at the wrong end of the table as Ceará clashed swords to Sport Recife in the Arena Castelão. Ceará went with a 4-2-3-1 formation with Jael leading the attack. Sport started with Everton Felipe replacing Gustavo, who was red carded in the last match. In a tribute to National Literacy Day in Brazil, Ceará had the names written by a mixture of young and old learners. With the ball rolling, it didn't take too long for Ceará to open the score. Vina received the ball from Jael and shot into Maelson's bottom corner. 1-0 Ceará.
Look at Jael shooting the ball away from Sabino. The quick strike by Vina. And 1-0 to Ceará over Sport João Monteiro.
Yeah, it's so nice to Vina getting back into his old form. He did score a lot of goals like this last year when he was one of the competition's finest.
Sports' Mikael showed his skills and almost scored another amazing goal in the competition. He tried to pull off a bicycle kick and prompted João Ricardo into an outstanding save. Sport came to life in the second half. Mikael outpowered the defence and fired in a rocket at close range to make it 1 apiece. The 7th goal from the 22-year-old striker in the league.
Mikael once again coming up big for Sport. So strong, so tough to defend. Beautiful finish to score his 7th goal in the Campeonato Brasileiro.
But the home fans were fully behind their team. Marlon took advantage of the mix-up in the area and finished into the bottom corner. He went on to celebrate with his Ceará mascot, who looked strangely familiar.
Marlon puts Ceará back with the lead at Arena Castelão. After the set piece, the ball alive inside the box. There was Marlon to score his 1st goal in the Campeonato Brasileiro.
Game over and a great result for the home team, who edged towards 1st Division survival. Sport looked doomed after their 4th loss in a row. In their first match after being relegated, Chapecoense came up against a Juventude side who was still fighting for their survival. Chape had to work without the suspended Caio Nunes, who scored twice against Flamengo. Jair Ventura sent out his team, hoping to make it 2 wins on the bounce. With a couple of the worst teams on show, this one was hard to call, as Chape were without a single win at home, and Juve had only won once on the road. With 2 minutes on the clock, Guilherme Castilho received the cross and headed home. 1-0 for Juventude.
The kickoff whistle, the ball's whipped in. Guilherme Castilho anticipates Joilson for the side from Caxias do Sul, battling against relegation, trying to play the Serie A once again.
On the 26-minute mark, Juventude doubled the score. After a mix-up in the area, Victor Mendes got the follow-up and sent the ball into the back of the net. The second for Juve from Mendes, who was back in the team after suspension.
In the right place, at the right time, off the post, Victor Mendes on the line, and it's in. Juventude double their lead, and this is yet another important goal in the battle against relegation. Victor Mendes, the number 34.
Chapecoense had one last chance in the first half, but Alan Santos couldn't convert a very good opportunity. After the break, the intensity dropped and opportunities were rare. Rodriguinho received inside the area and fired a hard shot that was stopped by Douglas. Juve responded with Ricardinho. He received the ball from Hobson and finished, but Clayton got in the way. Ricardinho wasted a chance in the follow-up. End of story in the Nina Conda. 3 very valuable points for Juventude in their effort to avoid the drop. Poor old Chappie have just one win in the competition. Opening up our top 10 goals from October is Elinho of Red Bull Bragantino. The winger received the ball and then hit a clever pass to Hurtado, who played Elinho in for the superb shot against Ceará. In 9th place, a work of art from Internacional. Rodrigo Dourado centred and Patricky was quick to nail a volley straight into the top corner. A great strike, and what a goal from the Colorado. Goals from set pieces have suddenly become a bit of a rarity in Brazil, but Argentine Mauro Zarate put that right. The man from America hit a perfect shot. Volta even got a slight touch, but it wasn't enough. A brilliant goal from the Rabbits' main man. At number 7 is the experienced Corinthians midfielder Renato Augusto. He exchanged passes with Fabio Santos and then did the rest. The number 8 beating the defenders before hitting a thunderbolt into Clayton's top corner. In the big Fla-Flu derby, it was Abel Hernandez who put the nail in Flamengo's coffin. The Uruguayan came off the bench to smash in this fantastic finish. Diego Alves could only watch as the ball flew into the net. Number 5 is Lucas Lima. Fortaleza steamrolled their way past Atlético Paranaense and Lima hit a real cracker in the game. Terrific stuff from the former Palmeiras man. Even though Grêmio lost to Sport Recife, Douglas Costa popped up with an exquisite goal that was well worthy of a place in our top 10. Costa hasn't had a great season, but he delivered the goods on this occasion with a signature move. Costa's first goal for Grêmio, and what a brilliant strike it was as he comes in at number 4. Kicking things off for the strikes that made our podium is Red Bull's Arthur. In the game against Flamengo, Arthur combined with Leo Ortiz before breezing past Leo Pereira and then hitting this scorcher in the 1-1 draw. What a shot from Arthur. Number 2 is the Belgian-Brazilian Andreas Pereira. The Flamengo man weighed in with his fabulous effort against Juventude. A perfect shot that Douglas could do absolutely nothing about. Pereira in second place after ending his team's run of 1,000 days without scoring from a free kick. But our top choice from October just had to be this wonder strike from Mikael. The 22-year-old's effort against the Dragons was absolute magic, and is almost certainly a contender for goal of the season. Take a look at this wonder hit again. By far and away the top goal from last month in the Brasileirao Açaí. On Saturday night, Cuiabá's Volta faced Corinthians, the club that loaned him to the Dourado, and he came up with the most incredible save of the round. Juliano's shot had all the angles, and when the midfielder was about to celebrate, the keeper did just enough to keep the effort out. What a spectacular save from Volta. The best skill of the round, and maybe even in the whole competition, came from Flamengo's Everton Ribeiro. This truly was a magnificent work of art from the Brazil international in the 4-0 thrashing of Sao Paulo, and worth seeing over and over again. One of the most remarkable moments in this season's championship, all down to Everton Ribeiro. It's that time when we take a look at the best players and the manager who stood out for us in round 32. In goal, we've gone for João Ricardo of Ceará. At right back, Mateuzinho from Flamengo. The two central defenders are Victor Menges of Juventude and Leo Ortiz from Red Bull. At left back, Edimar, also of Red Bull. In midfield, Eddie Nilsson, Internacional, Renato Augusto, Corinthians, Ademir, America Mineiro. Our three-pronged attack, Michael Flamengo, Roger Guedes Corinthians and Dudu from Palmeiras. This round's coach is Renato Portaluppi of Flamengo. The best player of October was Rafael Veiga of Palmeiras. The midfielder was the main man in a streak of 6 wins in the league for the Libertadores finalists. Rafael Veiga found the net 4 times in the month, and that was party time for the Greens fans. Congrats, Rafael Veiga! With 32 rounds gone, this is how the Brasileirao Açaí is shaping up. Atlético Mineiro still lead the way and are firm favourites to take the title. 8 points behind them are Flamengo. Palmeiras are now in third with 58. Bragantino get a win and move up to 4th place. Corinthians and Fortaleza are in 5th and 6th respectively. It remains tight at the wrong end of the table. Santos are on 39, likewise Cuiabá. Below them are Atlético Goianiense and São Paulo, both on 38. Bahia sit outside the relegation zone on 36. Juventude are on the same amount of points, with Sport Recife, Grêmio and Chapecoense in the relegation zone. Returning to the top 4. Red Bull Bragantino blew away Fortaleza and climbed 2 positions in the table, returning to the top 4 as the Sul-Americana finalists reached their 13th win in the competition. Away out of the bottom 4, Juventude beat relegated Chapecoense away from home and moved to 36 points, the same number as Bahia, who are just above them and outside the drop zone. Time is running out, but will this be the great escape for Juve? Round 33 of the Brasileirao starts on Tuesday when Atlético Paranaense face leaders Atlético Mineiro and Grêmio take on Red Bull. On Wednesday we've got Santos Chapecoense, America against Atlético Goianiense, Fortaleza Ceará and Cuiabá against Internacional. There's also the big derby between São Paulo and Palmeiras, Juventude against Fluminense, and the 2 biggest fan bases collide when Flamengo and Corinthians lock horns. The round closes on Thursday when Sport Recife come up against Bahia. That's it for this week. We hope you're enjoying our coverage of the toughest, most exciting league in the Americas, and we'll be back next week with more action from the Brasileirao.